How y'all doing out there? It's your boy Crazy Man checking in for another one. New York Giants cruise to a 34-17 victory over the Philadelphia Eagles in a Thursday Night Football primetime event. Jackson Dart, 17 for 25, 195 passing yards and one touchdown, with 58 rushing yards and one touchdown. Um, he played great football tonight, as he has in his past few games that he's played. He had some hiccups versus the Saints. Turned over the ball a lot. He definitely needed to improve on that. He came out tonight. He played great football. Of course, he um, did well running the ball, keeping plays alive. That's one of his greatest assets. He keeps plays alive. He doesn't give up on plays. Unfortunately, sometimes it can get a bit ugly for him, as we saw tonight. But I think that's one of his greatest assets, along with his passing accuracy. Um, Very accurate passer. He threw a couple great balls today. Had a few drops, of course, but I think that will improve in time. Um, his ability to run and keep plays alive, he showcased that once again. Sometimes I will hope that he would throw the ball away, but he proves me wrong time after time. Um, he keeps plays alive. He finds receivers down the field. Um, he even runs the ball very well. So I'm happy with that. He did very well tonight. He had a scare at the end of the third quarter. He went down with a bad hit. He took a big hit, and he went down. Um, he was able to come back into the game. He sat out for 2 plays. Unfortunately, we had to see Westbrook coming in, and it was bad. And thank God it only lasted 2 plays. He handed the ball off for one. He threw the ball for another. It was horrific. The crowd booed him, but he got him out of there. Thank God. And we got our young quarterback back, and he came back in and did what he had to do. Um, Definitely still questioning Dayball's decision making. Um, Dart went down, took a bad hit, had to sit out, as I stated. Then the very next play that he comes in, Dayball designed his 2 runs back to back. Like, I don't get that. The young man just went out. He just it was a scary moment for everyone. Um, he gets out of that situation. Then the very next play, you let him run the ball again. Like, I don't think this guy even wants his job at this point, because if Doc goes down, you're gone, bro. Like, this is your last shot. This is your last shot at keeping your job, dude. You're hanging on by a thread. You almost lose your young quarterback. Then the very next play, you put him back into the game to run the ball, not once, but 2 design runs. I don't get it. I don't get it. But luckily, I hope with time, the decision making improves for the young quarterback. Um, he keeps plays alive, which is a good thing. But I think at times he needs to learn to throw the ball away. Um, just not take these hits. But I believe in due time he will learn. It's a long season. Um, but I do believe that he's a young man and he can take a bit of punishment. But as long as the season is week 10, week 11, week 12, these hits are gonna start to add up, and we definitely don't want to see him get hurt. The season is riding on this young quarterback. The future of the New York Giants is riding on this young quarterback. So we definitely want to see him in the game. So I would hope that in the future, maybe he throws the ball away a little more, maybe runs out of bounds, you know, when he's able to, and just to live another day. You know what I mean? The young man, he gets, he takes a very big hit, a helmet to the chest. Then he Looks like he damn near breaks his neck, almost breaks his damn neck on the leg of a lineman or a linebacker, whoever that was, and then the very next play he's in, you let him run again. I just don't get it. Their ball is he's proven for a few seasons now that this decision making is just crazy, and he continues to do it. And I just hope that he just doesn't jeopardize this young man's future, um, and the future of this franchise, because at this point, I do feel like he is the future for the New York Giants, and I believe that with time, he will become a great quarterback. He's a very good quarterback at this point, and I think in time he will become a great quarterback. But he can't do that with a broken neck. You know what I'm saying? He can't do that if he continues to take these shots. That will lessen the length of this young man's career, and we definitely don't want that. But he played good ball tonight. He was very accurate with the ball. Um, he had a rushing touchdown. He shows so much heart in the pocket. Um, he had a good pass. He had a blitzer maybe 2 steps away from him. He stayed there in the pocket. He knew he was going to take a hit, and he just threw a dart. And no pun intended, but his name is Dart, so I guess that's what he was born to do. But he threw a dart, um, a great pass, and I believe it was a third down conversion also, which made it even better. So another great performance by young Jackson Dart, young Anarcha Skywalker, um, and I believe that there's many more um, great performances that we will see in the future from this young man, and I'm just happy and I'm excited for the future of the New York Giants, and I'm very excited to see um, how the rest of the season unfolds, and also the rest of his career. Um, I understand that um, New York City isn't for everyone. Sometimes the stage is too great for many of these young players, for many veterans also. But he looks like he likes the pressure. He's a pressure quarterback. He steps up to the occasion, and he's ready for all these moments. And at 2, 3 games in to his career, he's showing so much. And I think there's much more to see, and I'm excited to see it. Cameron Scatterboo, excuse me. I keep calling him Scatterboo. 19 rush attempts for 98 yards, 3 touchdowns. Such a tank. Um, 2 receptions for 12 yards. He reminds me of the old school backs, from back in the days, with the big shoulder pads. Man, he doesn't back down from anything. He ain't running around you. He's trying to run through you. He's a dog. He's everything. He's all of the above. And I think that he also has a bright future with his team. Himself and Jackson Dart. The Giants have a lot. They have a lot of good things in the future from these 2 young men. Scatterable, he's super reliable in the red zone. Having a back of that magnitude, a power back, I don't see sometimes why they allow Dart to take the punishment that he takes. But, once again, I believe that things will change in the future. And I don't think that they'll give him as many design runs. He's a great runner. But I believe that they will continue to allow him to run. But I believe that if Scatterable continues to do what he does, then that will begin to take pressure off of Dart. And I believe that they will begin to give Scatterable the ball a bit more. He had 19 rush attempts tonight. I don't know how much more they could have gave him the ball, but he ran for 98 yards. I wanted to see him get 100-yard rushing game. But he already rushed for 19. He had 19 rushing attempts. Life is hard for a running back. I think it was a good decision at the end of the day to allow him to just rest. Um, he did a lot, and I'm happy with his performance. Did a great job tonight, and he's a young dog, like I said, and there's much, much more to come from young Cameron Scatterbull, and I'm excited to see it. On the receiving core, they did what they had to do today. Like I said before, we had a few drops, which I don't look forward to seeing in the future. Had a few drops tonight, but when it mattered, they showed up, and they did what they had to do. Wan'Dale Robinson led the receiving core with 6 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Humphrey right behind him with 4 receptions, 55 yards. Johnson with 2 receptions, 27 yards. Hyatt with 3 for 17 yards. They made catches when they needed to, and they stepped up tonight, and I'm happy with what they did. And I believe in time, with more chemistry with these young receivers and young Dart, there will be problems, for the secondaries and the defenses of these NFL teams. They will have a lot of trouble in the future with these young men. They did their thing tonight. Philly, they pretty good defense, and they did what they had to do, and I'm happy with that. As for the New York Giants defense, they went crazy tonight. At times had the Eagles confused. Had the Eagles looking basic out there. Jalen Hurts sacked him 3 times. Saquon, 12 rushing attempts for 58 yards. He had a long run of 18. And that came within the first 2 plays of the game. I can't lie, I was a bit nervous. The first 2 plays of the game was handoffs to Barkley. One, I believe, was for 8, and the next one was 18. Like, oh boy, here we go. It's gonna be a long day. But that defense, they didn't allow him to do anything. They was catching him in the backfield for losses, and it was all over him. They didn't allow him to go too crazy. Jalen Hurts did have some success in the passing game, connecting with Dallas Goedert, 9 receptions, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. Also connecting with Brown, 6 for 80. Smith, 4 for 49. But much of this success came during the first half of the game. The Eagles weren't able to put up any points. In the second half, third and fourth quarter, the Giants pitched a shutout. I noticed during the third quarter, much of the Philadelphia receivers they weren't looking too happy out there. They weren't looking too happy with their quarterback. They weren't looking too happy with the defensive pressure. They weren't looking too happy with the Giants secondary, and that's what you want. As the opposing team, you want to make the stars on the other side of the ball very uncomfortable, and that they did. It was so desperate. If they had to run a tush push 5 plays in a row, which is absolutely disgusting. I don't even want to talk about that. I can't stand it. I know some people argue if you can't beat it, then they're going to keep doing it, this, that, and the third, and they're not going to stop. And listen, it's disgusting football. I hate it. I hate the way it looks. I hate the sound of it. I don't, just the name, everything about it is just disgusting. They ran it 5 times in a row from the 4-yard line. They converted a 3rd down, and then they proceeded to run it 3 more times, 4 more times on the goal line. It was just absolutely disgusting. They got 7 points off of it. Whatever. That's all they could do. They needed that. The Giants had them shut down pretty much the whole game, and they got 7 points off of a tush push. Like, it doesn't even sound like it should be in the NFL. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't even sound like anything that a grown man would want to do. But anyway, Once again, giant victory, a shutout. Um, there was green blood everywhere, and I'm happy with the performance on both sides of the ball. There's always room for improvement, and there will be improvement once the chemistry gets better. And Dayball gets, hopefully, week by week, he gets a little more sense. He makes better decisions. Hopefully, Jackson Dart makes better decisions. Hopefully, the secondary continues to do what they do. The front four, I didn't even talk about the line and the linebackers on this. They're doing a great job. They're playing great football. They're getting a little Burns, getting a lot of pressure. He had 2 sacks today. He's getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Thibodeau, you know, they're all doing what they got to do out there, and I think it's only going to get better from week to week. It's only going to get better. Next week, we got Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium. My prediction for the game: orange blood everywhere. We going in there. We're going to treat it like it's our home. We going in there. We taking off our shoes, our smelly socks. We putting our feet on the table. We going to go in there. We putting glasses on the dining room table with no coasters. We just doing whatever we want to do in there. We going to go in there. We going to handle our business, and we leaving with a victory. I see a maybe 24-17, 24-10 New York Giants, and we leaving out of there with a victory. And that's how I see it, and that's how it's going to be. So until next time, it's your boy signing out. Big.